you're here. Ah, well, things have changed. I think you've might notice that. Where do I start? Well, this is a pretty old recording. Back when we were supposed to originally release on a different channel. You might hear that channel's name a few times, nameless domain. Please be aware that that is where we were originally supposed to release. But now we're here on TheMandii's Twitch channel. Lovely. So, it's been a while. Things look a little different, passage of time, people move. So just expect a little bit of change, but hopefully a very alluring story. Yeah, I'll see you soon.
Good time zone, everyone, and welcome to Curse of Sapphics. My name is Aki or Akino. I swear to God. If you're feeling fancy, no, just fuck that. My pronouns are she, her, and you can find me on several projects all over the internet at some variation of Akinomiiart. I will be your lovely game master as we embark on a treacherous adventure called Curse of Sapphics. This actual play is a retelling of A Curse of Strahd, an adventure book for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We, however, will be doing things a little differently. Curse of Sapphics is a multi-dimensional system swap to Pathfinder 2e Remastered. This AP will follow. Technically, it's 4, but today 3 queer adventurers of color as we set upon an unforgiving land plague with many victories and more losses. Barovia's mistress is powerful, as you can tell, but so are they, the party. If the story is not your cup of tea, then please kindly go fuck yourself. And the only accuracy I care about is the health and safety of my players and the cultural aspects I included with the help of sensitivity consultants. Joining me today, we have our lovely cast -1, Joe. But that is okay. We will continue to venture forth. So, for those of you who are here, please tell us a little bit about yourselves, your characters, what ancestry they are, the class, and please answer the question: do you believe in God? We're gonna start with Josephine.
I'm Aki. Hello, I'm Josephine. I'm at Scary Dog Friend. I'll be playing Maria, maternal minotaur aberrant of your dreams. She is the beastkin ancestry or heritage flesh warp. She is a cleric of Lamashtu. I believe that everyone and everything is God, if it wants to be. Should I pass it on?
Yeah, Mandy, it's your turn.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mandii, or TheMandii, all over the internet. I run several games. I play in a lot of games. You can find me either at TheMandii or at MadGRPG. And today I am playing Ellie. She is a Kitsune bard with a little bit of summoner sprinkled in there. You believe in God? I believe God is what you make it. Whatever makes you feel better works for me. And that's me.
And I am Mimi, also known as Michelle Jones. I am playing Aisha Akinomiiart, the Tiefling Shisk fighter with the Undead Slayer archetype. Do I personally believe in God? I do, and I will find him, and I will beat him to death with my hands. I will kill God and dethrone him.
So here for this energy. I love it.
It's a good energy to have. If I can throw the shit that I want to throw at y'all. So, should I read the safety thing? At
No.
this point, I feel like we should be like, "Hey,
You're
just
fine.
hit this." And, like you should know by now. And
Check
if
the
you don't,
description to learn
yeah,
more.
please check the description. Anything to cease myself. Awesome. We're gonna do the thing again, y'all. 1 hero point to whoever wants to do the recap. Do we have anyone else besides Mandy?
I think I can do the session recap. I
think
don't
because
remember
I
characters'
produce,
names, but
I am just brain dead. I can't remember anything. I'm so sorry.
yeah, I don't remember characters' names, but I know that when we last session we discussed the state of things with the sisters who own the tavern in the town that we are in. They gave us some intel about how to navigate the fog, about where we could go next, about a priest who came here from another world and who apparently knows who Sarenrae is. So that is our next stop. We also met Ismark, who is the Burgermeister's son. Maybe possibly just the Burgermeister now, since his father is dead. I don't know if that's an inherited title. His sister is being stalked / harassed by an evil vampire baroness named Strahd. Queen? What is Strahd's title?
Strahd has a lot of titles.
Well,
Baroness is the most, I would say, the most accurate right now, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of titles.
This Strahd lady is really creepy. She keeps showing up at their house. It got so bad that Ismark's sister has had to stay at the temple because it's safer than being in their home. So after we agreed to help Ismark, we settled into the inn so that we could like drop off our things and get ready for the night. We had some very sweet bath scenes where our characters got to know each other a little bit better. Maria washed the puppet. The puppet whose name escapes me. It starts with a C. Christopher. Yeah, Maria just washed Christopher, like scrubbed him with a toothbrush. Why am I so bad with names? Mandy, the character you are playing
Ellie.
is Ellie. Ellie shared her very fancy bath oils with Aisha. So once we all got cleaned up and dropped off our things at the inn, we went to the Burgermeister's manor to pick up the coffin of Ismark's father's remains and transport them to the temple, where we have been introduced to his sister, and that is where we left off.
Nice. Hero point for you. All right. Where you, just to repaint the scene, you have found whom you believe is Irina, kind of washing her feet by a foot sink. Can you hear the music?
Mm-hmm.
Can we just gonna let it go? Dope. You have found Irina. She was washing her feet by a foot sink, kind of perhaps done with prayer or about to once again. It's a little bit unclear on that part, but she sees you. She sees her brother. She sees the coffin that you are carrying, which, by the way, has held up pretty damn well. Okay, this is not a professional coffin. I don't know how many of y'all would even be aware of what a professional coffin is supposed to look like, but just, I would definitely say this ain't it. It is holding up surprisingly well for having a hulking man inside, though. And she has thanked you for bringing it here. Kind of, you can see like an instant look of relief, sort of, on her face. That much you do not need to roll for. So, you're at the temple. You hear a lot of singing, by the way. Lots. When I say a lot, I don't mean like, not like full pews type of thing, but there is definitely a booming leader of a voice with some kind of following in after. Definitely not a lot of people in here, and definitely not everybody is singing. You might, if you know what? You can't see that yet. Not yet, actually, because you're just in the hallway. Oh, that's a noise.
Is Party giving me any kind of vibe in this holy place? I imagine a psychopomp doesn't really have like a religious affiliation
Nah,
or an
Psychopump
affinity.
is. Yeah, you know Cardi well enough that Cardi is someone who, as a Psychopomp, they are attracted to death in the sense that they are attracted to souls, and that is simply because of the nature of their being.
Okay.
Cardi's not freaking out. Cardi's very chill, actually. Cardi might be kind of like doing the cute bird thing, where if you play music, they're kind of bopping
Yes.
along. In this case, Cardi kind of vibing with some of the songs that are going on here. Like, it's just kind of like a, cute little thing.
I'm also listening to the music very closely.
I will say it's kind of loud for you.
Oh, it's loud
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. I would say my sensitive hearing folk. If you have like an acute sense of hearing, it's a little bit loud for you. It's not overwhelming. It's not overstimulating. It's just kind of like when you leave, your ear might ring a little bit.
Okay. How's it
Actually,
smell?
how's it smell?
Aside from like the body, obviously.
Oh geez. Okay, this place smells kind of weird. There's incense burning, there's candles going, the windows are open to kind of air it out, but
Okay.
there's mold in some rooms that you can smell. It's so pungent. There is obviously the body that you have with you, which they did their best. But it's a body. It's decomposing. There is another smell, and I don't think you know what it is. But it's faint. You know what? If you want to pick up on it some more, I would say make a perception roll. Anybody who wants to smell good or hear good, past the noise, past whatever, you may all make perception rolls, and just tell me if you're going for smell or hearing or visual, of course.
I'm going for smell. 14.
I also rolled.
What did you get? Oh, wait. Can you imagine? This is how the songs are going in the temple. But it's not. But
Yeah.
I got a 22 for
Jesus.
hearing.
For hearing. Okay, so Aisha, are you doing any perception? You just gonna be like, I'm here.
I'm chilling.
You're chilling. That's great. Ellie, it's really hard to pick up the smells. There's a lot that is masking it.
Yeah.
But it's there. It's just you can't follow it, And it's like, I would say it is a sharp, cold smell. Like, have you ever walked outside in the winter and then the wind hits you in the face and you're like, that was cold? Well, now you can smell that.
Oh.
Except in this case, it's distinct and somewhere, but you can't trace where. With 22, right? 22 to here. Maria, perhaps it is because this is a place of worship and you are kind of, I wouldn't say newly discovered on your sense of faith here, but I don't know if you even know if Lamashtu was always with you. So perhaps because of that, you have learned to pick up on, obviously there are people here that are actually praying, and there's actually so many different forms of prayer that's going on. This just seems to be a central place where people of faith, specifically people who worship Sarenrae, are gathered here, but how you choose to worship is on you. And there are several things going on here. There's songs, there's just quiet prayers, there's like loud prayers, but it's just that. And above all of it, you can hear the sound of something wailing downstairs.
Is Irina and Ismark, we're in the same company at the moment?
Yeah, you are all, I would say, like gathered together in the hall. You're right by the door. And then further in is the rest of the temple.
Is it safe here?
Irina will kind of look at you. 22 perception. You notice that she's keeping her distance from all of you, but she's also not necessarily going to where Ismark is, and that's simply because he's kind of glued to y'all right now. So she's kind of, I would say, a little bit further into the temple, and she just kind of goes, she says, yeah. Well, I mean, it's as safe as it can be. This temple has lasted a lot of shit.
There's something
Shit.
downstairs.
And then she's like, she cursed in the in the temple. You see her catch herself. She's like, damn, I'm tired. Oh. You just see her do that a couple times every time she catches herself cursing. But
is the priest here?
Yeah, he's in the back. You're looking for Father Donovic.
Yes, I'd like to have a few words with him.
He should be almost done soon. He's a big singer.
Oh, so that's his voice. All right, I can be patient.
Great. She'll move a little bit more to the side to let y'all through. I'm assuming you're gonna go further in. Really quickly, how the corridors.
Coffin down.
Oh yeah, we put that
Coffin
down when we got here.
Oh yeah, for sure. So the way that this temple is kind of built is that while you're in the hallway, you have noticed 4 doors, 2 by 2 on each side. So there are more rooms, and Irina came out of one of them as well. And then if you go down the hall, it is a big open space to the Jesus Christ. What is it called? So you know what? Just the open area. I'm just gonna call it the open area because I can't find it right now. It is where you find the most people, just simple villagers that honestly look a lot more together than most of the miscellaneous villagers you've seen, excluding any bitch from the tavern. All the tavern people seemed pretty chill. Everybody else, though, just when you would see villagers walking by, the villagers here seem a little bit more at ease. They don't, like, move away from you or hide when you guys approach, especially Maria, who is large and oddly shaped. Because you're just like draped in a bunch of blankets and stuff still, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like when you put that white sheet over furniture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't you might get some odd looks, but aside from that, very chill people. And kind of as you approach, whatever like little prayer time was going on kind of comes to an end. So some people start filing out. Some people, you can see they like, give their thanks, like, wonderful. Thank you for the space again, Father, like that kind of vibes, and then they'll leave. Only a few stay, and they were quietly praying off in the corner. Honestly, very miscellaneous, very forgettable, for a lack of better terms. And I'm assuming you're approaching him straight up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk over to him.
Nice. So, I should give you a little bit more details of the actual prayer space. So, it is in shambles, for a lack of a better term. It's like putting duct tape over something broken. It's in shambles, it's overturned, and the broken, like, you can't even say they're pews anymore. At this point, if it's there's not really, like, places to sit. There's just mismatched chairs if you need to sit and pray. There are some carpets kind of on cleaner ends of the sides as well, like little prayer mats and stuff. And then, there are like candelabras and stuff that with the candles at this point melted into the thing. It needs a thorough cleaning. There is dust. There is cobwebs sometimes, and along the walls you can see that they have some painted imagery. A lot of it are like painted flowers, like bright yellows, golds, oranges, but they are like withered away by time. And honestly, the elements, and just like looking around, like there's like a hole in the roof where you're pretty sure the leak is coming from. It's like a sizable hole. It's just one hell of a unfortunate area. But it doesn't feel cold here. That much I'll say. It feels surprisingly warm. And Father Donovic, when you kind of get to look at him, that's a lot of him. He is a mountain-sized man. He is not like taller than Maria, but he's taller than Aisha, just to give you an idea of where they are height-wise. He is wide as fuck. Clearly he's a black man, human, bald, but like with like a bit of a beard going on, nothing too like long. It kind of looks somewhat kept, like maybe fresh shave going on, but not really. Very, very humble robes. And then there is a holy symbol kind of like draped around the center of him, and it is obviously Sarenrae's, which is this semi-angelic Ankh looking thing. His personally has flowers behind it rather than any type of wing imagery. Besides being massive, like I want to say strong man kind of massive, So
It's like muscular.
muscle. Like maybe the like I would say like the robes at some point like they're so humble, but he's so big.
We see his forearm muscle like peek
You would
out.
see his
Yeah.
yeah, like literally like it's like very very simple robes. This guy does this and it's like haha, oh my god, you know.
He
It's
ripped
one of
into the
those.
sleeves.
Yeah, like he's he's so big. Perhaps it's just not enough fabric to keep him tamed, you know. And he looks at you all with very tired eyes, but a very warm presence. And then he notices who's with you and the coffin you're carrying and the size of the coffin. And his expression remains neutral, but he's still welcoming. It's just not as cheering anymore. It's very very acutely aware, and he with a deep voice says, welcome travelers, new faces, old faces.
Father.
Aisha, please give me a perception roll.
That is a nat 1.
Oh,
You know what?
yeah.
I got 2 hero points. I'll
You
use
do
1.
got 2 hero points, yeah.
That is a nat 1.
No, please.
Straight to jail with those dice.
Fucking confinement.
Wow.
It's a guy.
That's a guy. That's a guy. In fact, maybe you're kind of like, I mean,
Maybe he's
he's
your dad.
big, but like,
I'm
is he
just
that big?
I'm preoccupied with my own stuff. I gotta put this coffin down somewhere. I'm thinking about how I just got isekai'd. I'm not worried about this guy's deal.
Yeah. You're just kind of like, all right, it's just a dude. Shrug emoji. The Donovic will look at the rest of you and be like, I hate to ask, but is that the Burgermeister?
It
Yes.
is.
We are hoping for any last rites you can perform for him before he can pass on.
Of course. I will need help bringing him to. Well, actually, if you'd be so kind to help me bring him to the graveyard. It's just out back. There we can bury him properly, put him to rest, say some last rites.
I'm gonna look at my party here. Like I guess kind of like whisper out of earshot of him. If you wouldn't mind helping him take care of that, I'm gonna fix up a few things in the church.
Sure. I'll handle it.
Okay.
So I'll stay here.
Do you, Maria? Did you say this in front of like Ismark and Irina by chance?
I'm fine. Like if that gets to Ismark and Irina, I just specifically am trying to not say it in front of the person whose house that I am in. Like this place is fucking fucked up, you know. And I'm gonna cast mending on some things that are at least one bulk.
Oh yeah, okay, dope. So whether or not you choose to help carry the coffin, Donovic is on it. And just when you did help carry Aisha, and I believe Maria also helped, like physically carry. I can't remember exactly who did what, but I know Aisha did.
Ismark and Aisha.
Yeah, it's me and
It was Ismark and
Ismarker.
Aisha, okay.
Yeah.
You guys carried it pretty well. You know, you did a good job. Donovic comes and carries it and can easily carry it by himself. Like, whether you choose to continue to help or not is, like, totally fine. He straight up picks it up like bridal style, but it's a coffin. And carries it with ease.
It's
He
kind of weird
moves
for
with-
like a humble priest to be super duper big and strong, right? Like, can I do a check of some kind, society or perception or?
Yeah. Well, are you following or are you choosing to stay behind with Maria? That would determine what you're rolling here.
I'm not very handy, so I'm gonna follow the rest of the group.
Follow the rest of the group. So you can make then a society check because you've been to this village a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good. 18 plus 5. So 23. Right? Yeah.
So, things you know about him. You know that he has a son. Who the last couple of times you might have came back here, he was not here. And if you were to, ask where's your son, Donovic would be quite like he's still like very friendly, very open, and you would just be like, son went off somewhere, I'm not sure. So there's that. You would also know that his son's name is Doru, Doru. You would know that he is not shy about being a foreigner here. He just doesn't bring it up unless, someone else does. He is well liked by basically everybody who is around here. Even the Vistani have a good rapport with him, and that's simply because he offers them shelter when they need it. And when I say when they need it, I mean you have definitely heard of times where the undead have become too unruly, and so people will stay in the temple for safety, which is why this temple looks so fucked up. It's just kind of like a bing bang bang, you're connecting these dots. There are a lot of rumors about him as well, about what he did before he was here. The obvious ones are a soldier of some sort, because he's kind of built like one. Some people think perhaps he was one of those outlander types, just a nomadic barbarian of sorts. Other people think nah. He had to have been trained military. And some people think that he perhaps is just a really big fucking strong guy. That's it. He kind of is. Yeah, he's just built different. People come with different body types. Maybe his hobby when he's not doing ceremonies and stuff is weightlifting.
Does he look human?
He's human. I mean, he's a big human. You don't see big humans like his size that often, but all of his features, all of his like sensibilities, is human.
He's just a big frickin' dude.
He's just a big frickin' guy.
But his
who's
son
been
is
here for
off
a while.
somewhere, and he's weird if you ask him about his son.
Yes.
Okay.
His son was
Doru.
Doru, yeah, and he was I don't know if you've actually ever met Doru, but
Probably not.
you know, people, you know, it's the equivalent of, you know, like, oh yeah, the priest's son, like just kind of like that.
The
Very chill vibes.
Vistani don't spend time in the church, right?
They don't spend a lot of time in this temple, though.
Okay, that's what I figured. So that would make sense. I wouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, there have been good, like, you know, like, if he were, like, out in town and the Vistani came by, he'd welcome y'all. He'd be like, oh, it's good to see you again. That's
Yeah.
just kind of the type of guy he is. It's just the Vistani don't chill with him a lot, but that doesn't mean you don't hear stories.
Did he recognize me when we came in? Like, was there any like recognition?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think he clocked that, you know, like, that you're a fox. But otherwise, that's about it.
Okay.
You know what? Actually, with that higher roll, you would have gotten one more rumor. There was a time when times get rough, and by rough I mean when the demons are knocking at the temple's door. He is the one who usually answers that. Otherwise, it was pretty chill. He does cookouts. His coleslaw is the best.
Oh hell yeah.
He's a yams and sweet corn kind of guy.
Okay. I'm here for it.
All right. While everybody else is doing graveyard things, Maria, you wanted to clean up this place a little bit. Is that all you're going to be doing?
I have mending, so as much as I can fix, even I don't know what exactly is like one bulk in the church at the moment that I can fix, but if
Yeah.
there's like chests, if there's like boxes or something like that, that like just like anything, like parts of pews, like chairs, so people can like not have to sit on the floor or just stand if they need. Like that's what she's prioritizing. Yeah.
You definitely can do that. There's totally things that could, like I said, like there's like candlesticks being melted into the candelabras. At this point, you can fix it. You can probably, with that magic, you can pull them apart, and clean up here, fix broken chairs and whatnot. But like, give me another perception roll as you're doing this, because you are taking time.
Can I also have a broom?
A broom? Yeah, there's a broom right there. Like, free broom. Clean up if you'd like.
A free broom. Awesome. And that is another 14. So perception, that's another 22.
So, it starts to get quiet as people leave, as you're cleaning, to the point where what you can hear is just yourself sweeping up. Once again, this temple still feels pretty warm, and you can tell that there is a presence here. It's not maybe one of yours, you know, in terms of like how your goddess speaks to you, but you can tell that this temple is still protected by something. And then you hear scratching noises
From under me?
pretty underneath you. Yes. You hear. You hear. Okay, I'm not gonna do a voice for this, but like I technically am just by talking. You hear very quietly, tiredly almost, "Father, I'm starving." Over and over and over again. It's quiet. It's faint. It sounds very tired. But you can hear it.
Does it sound... Does it sound like it believes it needs to be saved?
Oh,
Aki,
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. I was thinking because I have mind link and it's a touch range and I don't know if I need to like see the other person in mind, but that's just something that I'm gonna keep in mind.
Yeah, I was like, it's if it's touch, I think if it's touch, I wouldn't say you have to see them, but if it's touch range, that means you might, in theory, have to touch them. You know,
Right.
so
Yeah.
yeah, that's a different one. So like, if you were blindfolded and you touch something in Mind Link, that would work. It's kicking up again. Damn, what's this up with this fucking basement? Sounds like a laundry machine. That should have said. For understanding that, you can either do perception again, or I would allow something like, I would allow survival. I would allow diplomacy.
Okay.
Honestly, you can pitch me a skill too.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind that.
It's like I'm also like not a paladin or anything like that. I don't have like a sense if this is undead situation. I only have detect magic, but I don't think that's gonna do me an incredible amount. So I'm just gonna do. Let me look at my skills. I'm gonna roll for religion, just to see if there's anything with Sarenrae, if there's anything there, basically. I've rolled 3 different dice and it's all 14. 22.
Yeah, I was like, maybe that's your number for today. So, the presence that you could feel, excluding the one below. You definitely, if you had any doubts that this was Sarenrae's temple, they are now answered. This is Sarenrae's temple. This is the Dawnflower has presence here and has power here. Which doesn't mean you have any less, by the way. Just as like as a heads up, if you were, I don't know, worried or something like that, you still have goodness. 1 second. My mother is on a call with relatives, probably in India, trying to show them our house. What was I saying before? I don't even know.
If I was worried about any, something
about having less power here. You do not. Nothing's rebuking you.
I was gonna say, am I unholy here or?
Yeah, no. You're fine. You feel your connection to to the one that bites, is still strong, actually. So nothing is preventing you from doing things here, or telling you to get out. What it is doing, though, is that it is protecting this place and people who reside in it, and you're fairly certain whatever is downstairs is being held here.
Okay. I will keep my head down and just keep cleaning, keep trying to, like, for as long as the spell will allow, fix what I can. I think I'm going to focus on chairs.
Yeah. Which, honestly, nice. There's a lot of broken shit here. You can probably even, like, find pieces of the floor, like tiles that have been all fucked up, and fix that too. That'd be great. Parts of the wall and stuff like that. Like, God, there's like, like there's like the window shutters, but like they're like lopsided. Haha, not anymore. You do help this place, and with that religion roll from prior, you probably feel. You feel a little bit warmer in the sense of as
like
if somebody
spiritually warmer.
Yeah, as if somebody were to give you a very friendly, inviting pat on the shoulder. Very gentle. There's heat there. Perhaps it is a thank you. Perhaps it's good job, buddy. It could be a lot of things. All right, we can go back to our graveyard people. Graveyard people.
Yes, so I think once we get outside and once Father Donovic tells us where we're going to be burying the body, Aisha is just going to grab a shovel and start. This is not the first time she's had to dig a grave. And just quietly let him do whatever prayers that he needs to do.
So, just give me a basic athletics roll. This is just to see, do you get tired?
16.
16. I'd say the ground is hard. It hasn't rained. I mean, despite it being fucking wet everywhere, for some reason, just right here, you're hitting the hard stuff. Maybe it's a lot of rocks, and stuff. So it's a little bit hard, but you have Ismark and actually Father Donovic to helping you dig. Irina tries to help dig, and then Ismark says no. No. We only have 3 shovels. I'll do it. And Irina kind of just sighs but moves to the side. And the rest of you dig. The graveyard is obviously full of graves, full of marked and unmarked tombs. There are different. You can tell that that this is the way that most people how they have to deal with it for the most part. Otherwise, there's no. I wouldn't say there's any there's no place for cremation. You know what I mean? They don't got that. If they did, it's a fucking. It's been destroyed. This graveyard looks beat, honestly. I don't know. Perhaps because the whole area is constantly being blessed by somebody taking care of it, that it is the only reason why this doesn't count for grounds of desecration. But if you're worried about holy grounds, you're still on it technically.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of a recurring theme here.
Yeah. My graveyard people can make a perception roll, though.
Okay.
That is an 18.
Let's see. That is a 27.
Both of you will notice some familiar markings, some familiar scratches and burns you remember seeing outside the Burgermeister's house, the Burgermeister's mansion. Ellie, you do not need to make any rolls to be like, that's magic, or it was magic, that's magic induced. That shit is haunted. Just kind of the vibes. They're pinging in all directions for you. Just, the only difference I would say that you can both actually tell is age. This is old scorch marks. It could be at this point just fucking dirt, but it's shaped in such a way, and that the magic pinging off of you, the old residue of it, it's just this won't fade for some time, and then the body, the coffin, is being lowered into the giant grave that you had to dig. It's a big ass hole. I hate my shit. And
so this place was attacked
a lot. This actually, you guys are outside the temple. You're on the side / back. It looks really fucked up, actually. The inside looked pretty bad. The outside looks pretty bad. Once again, you can kind of tell, this looks aged. This looks a few months ago, just like that kind of vibe. Nothing looks as fresh as the Burgermeister's mansion.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think Ismark has told us that this place has been attacked before, right?
Yeah. But just if
But
you
not
needed
details.
not details, it's just like we've been attacked. We've been always being attacked. Everybody's being attacked here. Like that's the difference. Oh, and 27, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a especially well cared for grave. If everything looks like shit, this one looks spotless.
Can I, like, while they're all busy digging, can I walk over and check it out?
Yeah, it says you don't need a roll for anything like that because they are lowering the body, and lowering takes a lot of strength. Okay, maybe at this point everybody took off their coats.
Yeah, I'm being nosy while they're
And they're like lowering it, and it's like if you ever had any like maybe Donovic is actually not that strong. He's like ripping the sleeves off of his humble robes at this point with just how fucking poppin' his arms are because he has to like lower this shit, right?
I'm so here for it.
It Ismark, if you had like a slow-mo cam, boom, boom. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay.
Aisha, I'm pretty sure is pretty fucking ripped. I don't know if you want to take off your coat, but I'm not gonna stop you.
I probably did. I probably did like drape it over like a statue of an angel or something. Just so it doesn't like get in the way while I'm digging.
It's very Nightmare Before Christmas of you.
Nice. You're doing your thing. Ellie, you walk over. You can easily read the grave says Maru, priestess of Sarenrae, beloved wife, mother, healer, couple other things. It's I would say dawn-flower jargon. May they ever light.
Mm-hmm.
Mother, healer,
just-
gamer.
Yeah.
Gaslight, gatekeep,
Light
girl
of
boss.
my life.
Oh, damn.
Gold as the pollen in us. Just jargon afterwards.
Yeah.
But-
Can I intuit that this may have perhaps been Father Donovich's wife?
Yeah. I think it's pretty easy. And if you needed to confirm it, Irina's kind of like close by, kind of seeing what you're looking at. But very well kept grave. Dried flowers. Like she hasn't had flowers in a hot minute. But also, please look at the fucking land.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. But I want to say humble, but very clean grave.
I kind of like poke Cardi's like little talon on my shoulder. I'm just like, hey, is there anything here?
Give me an occult roll with Cardi stats, which honestly would just be yours at this point.
I think they are. I think they
Yeah.
are my stats.
They should be mimicking.
Yes. Yeah. That was terrible. It wasn't really a roll though. It just kind of dropped and didn't move. That's just an 8. I'm gonna stick with it. Honor system.
Cardi doesn't seem too interested in the grave. Cardi, honestly, is pretty neutral in the graveyard right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like nothing pinging for him.
Okay.
Body gets put in the grave. You see, before before they, put the dirt all back, some words are being said, some prayers from Sarenrae for them. And you see, both Ismark and Irina actually kind of lower their heads and kind of take in this moment. There's some nice words being said, some kindnesses, unless the rest of y'all would like to say things. It's pretty much wrapped up rather quickly, not for the lack of, care, but rather it might get dark soon. All right.
Yeah, Aisha is just quietly respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
It's a very somber moment. You seeing both siblings do their best to not cry, and they're very good about it. Actually, they're very like, you can tell. It's like, okay, man, if it were raining out, we'd be pouring. But it's not raining out, and there are strangers around us, so we're not gonna do that. But they still take their time to say respects. They kind of hold each other until the ceremony is done, and then Donovic will give them both his rather sincere condolences. There is no malice or ulterior motive. It's just like, genuinely, like, your father was an extremely welcoming and nice man. I'm so sorry that this has happened so suddenly. Just straight up. It's rather like, these are people that know each other kind of vibe, and there's it's just vibes, honestly. It's just sad vibes, but no ulterior motives. Donovic will, however, invite you all back inside once everything is done. He will especially offer. There's clean water. There's like a well nearby, so he can get y'all some clean water to drink, especially the ones that were digging and whatnot. You must be very tired, so he welcomes the rest of y'all inside the temple, which I think you would run into Maria, who's probably just vibing cleaning.
And it looks incredible.
It definitely does. It looks so much better than before. You might even catch Donovic kind of like, hand over heart, like, oh, what did you do this? Thank you. This is so nice.
I didn't want to be rude or anything like that, so I hope this is fine.
Oh, no. Trust me, this place is a little too much. It requires more care than I can give by myself.
At the very least, to do away with some of the mold, make sure the breathing space here is safe.
Mold. Yeah. That, honestly, that's the best. That's been the hardest for me right now, but thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
And I'm gonna give him like a housewife's I write on a piece of paper for him, like, this is like how to deal with mold in the future with like these simple things that you can get at like if you have general stores or powder stores or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's like looking at it, he reads it. He goes, oh yeah, I recognize some of these things. My wife used to have all of them. Never understood what she did with it though. She would tell me over and over again what I was doing other things like.
What?
Yes. I've been widowed for at least a decade now.
My condolences.
She was a great woman. Honestly, the best of us, but enough of enough of this. We've already, I think, experienced enough sadness today. Was there anything else I can do to help you all? You look very fresh.
Actually, I was hoping to speak with you about something, Father.
Yes.
As will I.
Yes.
Yes, of course. And then he sees that you fix the chairs, and he goes, "You fix the chairs?"
Yes.
Well, that's amazing. I was unsure of. Oh gosh, please take a seat. He seems a little excited about the chairs. Not gonna lie.
Maria stands because she's not trying to re-break the chairs that she just fixed. So.
If you stand, he actually goes, I have an office chair that might. 1 second, and he will go grab his office chair, which is huge. Like it's fucking big. It looks worn, but like well used and well taken care of. And he will offer it to you to sit. It will withstand your weight. If it can withstand his weight, it'll withstand your weight.
Amazing.
You're just gonna kind of look like the Inquisitor from Dragon Age Inquisition for a little bit, because it's one of those kind of like chairs, you know.
Oh yeah.
It does not suit this place, but that's why it's an office chair, like away from the praying areas.
Ellie's gonna scoot her chair next to Maria and sit down.
Yeah,
Everyone would be
I'll
like-
sit in one of the newly repaired ones.
I pet you, Ellie.
I get pats.
Good pats. Is Ellie a tail emoter?
Oh, 100%. She's just like, it's definitely like flicking a little bit. Like,
yeah.
oh, I got pets.
Let's go. Yeah, basically everybody takes some form of seat, including Donovic, who kind of sits on a small stool. He sits well on this stool, by the way. He's just like chilling, and he goes, "Please, how may I be of service?"
Not to be rude, but I was told you're not originally from Barovia.
That is correct, and actually, you might find this amusing. Are you a Shisk?
I am.
You from the Mwangi Expanse? Or that might be too presumptuous, actually.
My parents are. I was actually born in Ustalav.
Oh, I see. So, then this place. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe Ustalav does have sun now.
No, it's darker, actually.
So, yeah. Didn't want to assume.
I guess if you've been here for a decade or more, then yeah, things aren't good in Ustalav.
Oh, my condolences. But yes, I've been here for God, nearly 25 years. Almost 26, actually, now that I think about it.
Can I ask how it is you came to be here?
Oh, yes, well, firstly, not to alarm you, but, I'm originally from... I am from Cheliax. That aside, well, let's just say that my warband betrayed me, and well, I unfortunately chose to run. Kind of found my way here. Actually, it was and just when I said I would not bring it up, my wife found me here. I crawled to the village gates, according to her. I was definitely not in a talking mood, but she had me on my ass anyways. Nursed me back to health, and I was surprised that the Dawnflower was worshipped here. So, things happened. Let's just say that.
So you didn't introduce Sarenrae to this place?
Oh no, she was here for a while, actually.
Yes.
Yes. My wife was a follower her entire life. So was her father. But I don't have any idea for how long, because everything else here seems a little weird. But
Weird, yeah.
weird is not the correct term to use, but it might actually be appropriate for you. I'm assuming I have not seen you before. You must be very new here.
I've been here maybe less than a week.
Oh, I see. Then weird is the term for you.
Yeah.
It's only gonna
Fucky.
get weirder.
Fucky might be a more fitting word.
Yes, fucky. He does this too. He's like, I haven't said that in a while. I try to keep it. There are children come here, and I'm trying to keep it clean. But the children are not here, so actually, you may continue. I apologize.
No, it's fine. I don't suppose you've heard of anybody going back the other way.
Oh, no. The Vistani can move freely, but I don't know if the Vistani have ever been to Galeria. I also don't know if they're allowed to, if I'm being quite honest. What I have been able to gather is that the Baroness has a lot more control than what most people seem to understand. A lot of it sounds like legend, honestly. It sounds fake. It sounds like stories you would tell children, don't go out before dark, or else Strahd will get you. But the things that I've seen in my 25 years here, that is, I think all the legends are extremely factual. And if there were more that we don't know, well, I firmly believe it.
So,
There are more like us, though. Not many, but I have met a few.
Okay, so I can ask the Vistani about helping me get back home, but it sounds like if you're saying if they don't know, then I have to go through Strahd.
I believe so. I must admit, I have never tried to leave myself. This place is a shithole, but I kind of very much enjoy being here. I've created a life here, and I prefer it. So I myself have never once thought of going back, actually. Do you have a strange object?
A coin.
A coin. I have a pendant.
I'll like take it out of the pouch and hold it.
That's the one. Actually, yours looks a little bit newer, but it's in my office. I don't look at it often, but it seemed too weird to throw away. Again, the words are escaping me today. I apologize. Not this.
You're
Flabbergasted.
So what, does Strahd just go leaving these weird coins around in other worlds just to see who happens to pick them up?
I wish I knew more. This is quite beyond me, but with Strahd is very calculated. There has to be a real reason, a true reason for why these are entering other planes, other worlds. Because I don't think she would do that if she were bored. When she's bored, she brings... And he kind of looks at you, Ellie and Maria, just like Christopher as well, just that general direction. Sort of like you see him kind of catch himself doing it as well. Like he really didn't mean to insinuate something, but unfortunately it's being insinuated. Because when she's bored, there are others she can pick. But I don't think we were boredom. I think we were calculated for something else. But that is also... There is over 2 decades between us. So perhaps the reasons have changed. I do not know. I stay away from Castle Ravenloft.
That seems like for good reason.
Other thing she does when she's bored is he gestures to the temple. Fun attacks, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's not like
That's
people...
why this place looks like a battlefield outside.
Yeah. Yes.
Huh.
My wife, her family kept this temple going for generations, but it was just her left when I arrived, and she extended more kindness than I deserved. So when the first attack of me being here, the first I've ever experienced, happened, I was more than capable of protecting this place with her, and we kept it that way for many years. And 10 years ago, it was relentless. 3 days, 3 nights. The days part was the most concerning. They usually cannot stay past sunrise, but it didn't stop them then. We almost lost this place. We did lose a part of it, actually, but, well, I feel like you can put 2 and 2 together.
Yes.
That aside, though, we have not seen many attacks since then. Perhaps 1 or 2 mindless things, just simple undead that we can handle. The undead have been doing stranger things now. He kind of looks at Iswark and Irina, and they just kind of like... They all have this like same look where it's like, we don't know how to explain what happens, what the undead has been doing for the past few months. It's just kind of like... It's honestly the 3-way shrug emoji, like, it's weird. And none of us are experts in the occult here, so it doesn't hurt anyone. That much we can tell. No one is getting hurt. It's just really... Irina jumps in. creepy. It's so creepy.
Well, I made a career out of putting zombies back in the ground, so if I can help with that at all, then I'll do my part.
Ismark will pipe up and just be like, the undead don't hurt anyone right now. They just kind of get up. You're staying the night. You're gonna see it.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
fucking
Staying the
Ellie, you
night.
know what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Have I
Ellie,
seen
you know
this
what this
often?
is. You've seen it whenever you're here. It's kind of cool, and it's probably the most like Cardi is very interested in it all the time. It is called the March of the Dead. That is what at least the locals call it. They don't really like it. A lot of them think now the temple is been obstructed in some way because it starts at the temple. But it doesn't hurt anyone. Basically, just every motherfucker buried here gets up, like their soul gets up and marches.
Their
Out of
souls do, or their bodies do?
Their souls do. Their bodies don't, but it's like their souls. You can see them. You know, if Uncle Jimmy was buried here, Uncle Jimmy's getting up and walking, and they walk.
That's worse.
So what you're saying is, and she kind of looks towards the door where the graveyard, that leads to the graveyard. We're gonna see the burgomaster later.
There is a silence, but it's honestly that's all you need for acknowledgement, and it's like just pretty much yes.
I've seen this before. It's interesting.
I'd like to see it.
You will then come night. You can see. You don't need to be outside. You can just see it out the window. They make a bit of a spectacle as they walk and light up the roads, but I would advise not following them.
Good advice.
Where did they go? Does anybody know?
Ismark pipes up. They go to Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, that's so much worse.
I don't know what happens. I mean, they come back every night.
They come back.
Yeah, they do it constantly. It's been like this for a while. They just get up and they go, and it's the same people. Everybody who's been buried here, you know, new people, old people. He tries not to say anything else. This is you've caught them all with their, where they're like trying to be as polite as they can, but it's like, does he look at Donovan? Yes, and then he looks the fuck away. You know,
That's
it's
so much worse.
Ellie doesn't say this out loud, but she's thinking like that's why he won't leave, because he gets to see his wife.
I have another bit of strange news, if you wouldn't mind stomaching. Is there meant to be something in the basement or downstairs?
his face darkens.
And is it something that I can help you with? That we can help you with?
There is pain in his expression. It is hurt. You should all know what pain and what hurt looks like, especially being here. His is very raw. And just the whatever like kind of chilled cheeriness that was kind of coming from him, that kind of composure can no longer manage it. And he actually stands up and He will look at you, Maria, not in a demeaning way, but rather in a very serious manner. He goes, "And how exactly do you think you can help me here?"
What is the nature of the being?
He's a very honest man, but I think his guard is up. And so I would require, like, you're not lying to him. I would say it's a diplomacy.
Can I aid in some way?
Yeah. I would say if you're aiding, how are you aiding?
I would pipe up and say, we don't mean any harm. We just want to help.
Just vouching.
I would say it's both diplomacy, so you can both give me diplomacy rolls. Depending on what you get, Ellie, that will be how much of a bonus Maria gets.
That's really good. I got a 24.
24, that's like
I got a 15, so
plus
that's
2,
a
17.
flat roll for me.
I think his guard doesn't let up any more than it already is, but he will hear you out. His face on actually, the change in expression does a lot for someone like him. When he is calm, he looks jovial without exuding it. He looks friendly. He looks like someone you can talk to without judgment. Just that is what years, decades of honestly sweetness has done to him. It has made him a better person. And you can kind of see him fall back to you've heard warband, you've heard a few other words mentioned today. You can hear this trained, practiced, and mastered coldness on his face as he is calculating. He is cold. He is tactical. He is someone who has seen. God, the fires of hell, and he has spat in it. That kind of face is what you get as he gives you a nod and says, "What are your skills? I cannot divulge in these matters without knowing that you are prepared for what comes next." And Irina and Ismark are like, "What the fuck?" They have not seen this. They're kind of like,
Maria smiles wryly to herself and then to Aisha and Ellie and Christopher. She will take down the linens that she has over her horns, her face, her long snout, maw. She doesn't take off the one that covers her eyes, but just the ones that cover most of her body. As you can see, I have been long affected by the Baroness Strahd. If this is anything related to that, if there's anything that I can do to ease its pain, your pain, I would love to do so from just a genuine care for all things that are hurt, all monsters suffering, or if it is something that is making you suffer. I believe I can do something. As you've extended this kindness to us, this is the least that I think that I can do.
your appearance does not waver him at all. It never did. Seeing you kind of undraped doesn't really do anything for him. He doesn't even size you up. Like, that's just kind of like your presence is here. He acknowledges it. That is the very least. Whereas like Ismark and Irina, you know, they can't help but gawk a little bit because they didn't want to before, but now you like titty bared. So it's like, this is really hard. You're right in front of us. I can't even look like turned without like being fully turned. You're really wide. And Donovic will look at you. You will take a very, very deep breath and say, I believe this is something you could help me with. My son has been made a spawn of Strahd. And we can take our break here, actually. I think this
Pretty good.
All right. We last left off. Donovic said that Strahd has done something to his son. He continues to look at you all with this calculated, guarded reverence. Not reverence. That's not the correct term. But he continues to look at you all in such a way, kind of trying to gauge your reactions if there are any.
What are your concerns? What are Doru's concerns?
Doru only seems to have one thing on his mind, and that is to feed. Real quick, if the rest of you would like to make a knowledge check on vampire spawns or things of the like,
I have
Lore-
vampire lore.
Barovia lore?
um,
Does-
yeah, I'd allow the Barovia lores. I'd allow your specialized lore. The DC for you, Aisha, will be lowered because this is your profession.
I only have academia lore. Would that apply at all?
No, I don't think so. I will get, if you really want to roll though, you can do occult.
Only a 9
My-
in Barovia lore or occult, so.
My occult bonus is the same as my academia lore, so I'll take it.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm rolling a lot of 17s today. 17,
That's me. That's me on a regular
21.
basis.
22.
22. Aisha,
Yeah, 22.
superstar.
So I have a +6 to vampire lore, but it's a 2 on the die.
Oh,
I'm trying to decide if I want to use my other hero point.
I'll give you my hero point if you want it.
We're in the last half. I mean, you might as well.
Well, the thing is, a vampire spawn might try to eat you.
I'll be fine.
All right, I'll use my last hero point. I'm gonna re-roll this too, and that is a 6 for a 12 total.
Oh my god, you gotta get rid of
You're
those guys.
cursed. I'm gonna
These
send
are
you dice.
these are my Be So Lovely dice. They're so shiny and pretty.
But that's it. They're so pretty. They're distracting you from how evil they are. Strahd placed those dice right there for you.
Send you some dice, Mimi.
I will say
I have other sets.
Yeah, I will say, because this is your bread and butter, you do understand, vampire spawn does not equal vampire. You are they are like a lesser vampire. Still should not be taken lightly. That's just you being a professional. You would not, I don't think Aisha is the type of person that would jump a vampire spawn unprepared, I just think that's you being you. That much you're pretty sure more. It's just not reaching you right now. 22 on the occult. A vampire spawn is a special little guy that has
That's what my notes say. He's a special little guy.
they have fed from the blood of a vampire. Whether it was against their will or not, you don't know. And maybe you don't want to find out. What you do know is that they are not full vampires. There's a way to fix this, to undo it. It might be difficult though. Usually you've read of ways to do it. You know what, with a 22 you might actually know how to do it. Based on your readings, you know that there are three surefire ways that have worked. None of them are pretty.
I
The
figured.
first one is to kill its master. All vampires spawn sired by the same vampire will turn back into what they originally were.
Okay.
The second way is to kill the spawn and then bring it back to life. So you kill him, then you res him back up. Still not pretty. And the third way is that a very powerful greater restoration could do it. When I say very powerful, I mean like it could be multiple greater restorations. It could be a ritual type thing, a restoration spell of some sort, or potion of some sort could do it. This one has only been done successfully once. The other two ways are much more like, yeah, we did it. But they are not nice.
Okay.
And those are the ways you know of how to deal with a vampire spawn.
Okay. When he says that Doru is the spawn of Strahd, I kind of pipe up a little and say, well, there's only a couple of, there's a few ways, but there's only two that are surefire ways to fix him. He can be returned to his normal state.
You can.
Yeah. You're not gonna like any of these, so I'm gonna preface with that. They're not pretty or easy. Kill the master of the spawn. Kill the spawn and revive them. Or like very strong greater restoration. And that one I've only heard of successfully being done once, but the other two are definitely things that can occur. She's like looking around trying to read the room. Like her ears are just kind of...
Aisha pointedly avoiding eye contact.
Maria is, I think, pondering. Like there's a lot of possibility in her expression, but she will defer to Donovic.
Maria, for me, you can choose between if you want it to be perception or religion, but make one of those rolls for me.
We'll do religion. Well, what am I allowed to know what I'm rolling for?
If you're going to be able to hear something.
Perception.
But like when I say hear, I mean like understand it. Because something is telling you something, but can you comprehend?
24.
So you said perception. The same familiar, it is cold, sharp, but warm and inviting voice kind of kisses your ears a bit. It is the voice, the one who bites, and she mumbles something. She says, all are welcomed with me if they have a mind of their own. And he does not. You may interpret that as you will.
Okay. So, I guess vampires are not protected under Lamage 2. Vampire spawn. I find that a bit unfair of my lady, but I keep that to myself. I think I just kind of internalize it for now, but it does look, I think as she was like pondering, it looks like she just tries to like conflate that with that, hearing that with just thinking to herself, and then turns her attention back to Donovic. Is your intention, would you like for us to find solutions for Doru, or is there something else?
He still remains as honestly stoic as ever, and says, I cannot leave my son like this anymore. But I don't know if I can kill him. Though that would put him out of his misery. That's not...
How
that
long?
is not what I want to do.
How long has it last been since he fed?
A week. Doru went off with a few mercenaries. My son is skilled, very skilled, with a sword, but not skilled enough to kill the Baroness. And that is what he tried to do in some delusioned attempt to avenge his mother. And, well, only he returned like this.
Allow me to see him. At the very least, I can ease his pain for a short respite.
I cannot guarantee your safety.
You don't need to
I
guarantee.
I can guarantee your safety.
Your confidence is actually very reassuring. He's
Yes.
still very stoic sounding, but
No need to worry.
means it. Alright. Those of you do not wish to see him may stay here or go where you need to go. It is not pretty. It will not be pleasant. And I will defend him if I am able to.
Of course. You are his father.
And gives you all like a nod.
We don't want to
And,
hurt him, just to be clear about our intentions.
I know,
Nope.
but when a wild animal attacks you, you will defend yourself because you do not wish to be harmed. My son is not entirely there. He has tried once or twice to bite me, but he has enough of himself there to know who I still am and to stop himself.
We should be realistic and be ready for anything.
You are all strangers to him. I don't know if he can have that same restraint, that same kindness that my boy still has to the rest of you.
I'm gonna take my hammer back from whoever was holding it, and just say, only in case of emergency. I'll try not to use it.
I understand. And unless you wish to talk or ask about anything else,
Go down.
yeah, he will lead you to the Undercroft. It is off on the side. It was 1 second. So off to the side, there is in one of the rooms where the heavy mold scent from before was coming in, and Ellie, actually, this sharp coldness gets stronger in here. You see this trap door. So time has neglected this room in general. There is punched holes in the ceiling of this moldy room. It contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water. In one corner, set into the floor, is this heavy wooden trap door, and it's held shut with a chain and padlock. And right here, thanks to the lack of, honestly, the singing, the prayers, all of it, it's quiet in this temple. You can all hear Doru's very tired, anguished cries for his father. You're not sure why you couldn't hear before. I mean, Maria, you heard it, but it's so echoing in this room, so apparent. Even when you were at the opened center room, you couldn't really hear it because you just weren't focused on it. So hearing it now, hearing how tired Doru sounds, kind of really opens something for you. Donovic will unlock it carefully.
Before he does that, I say, Father Donovic, what kind of music does he like?
Music. My son enjoyed folk music quite a bit. He liked any he has tried playing a lute before. As determined as my boy is, he is not a musician.
I'm gonna summon my lute.
Something to make him feel like a hero.
Something to make him feel better. Maybe it'll make him feel more like himself.
So, Mandii, I have a focus spell called Soothing Words. Are you essentially using something along those lines, or?
So I was gonna use summon instrument to summon the lute, but I don't have spells unless I'm trying to heal him. But I don't think healing works on a vampire spawn.
I would say
I
things
have
like
soothe.
Yeah, I would say like a good performance roll because you're trying to soothe him that way.
Yeah, I'm thinking mechanically, like musically, not spell wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Spell wise, what do you have?
So I have Soothing Words. I can attempt to calm a target by uttering soothing words. The target gains a +1 status bonus to will saving throws. This bonus increases a +2 against emotion effect. So regardless if he is under any sort of emotion effect, I want to like sort of even his disposition and just sort of like have like his emotions sort of in check before the door opens, and then Maria will approach Doru is her intent. She hasn't said anything other than that though.
Donovic is very careful with how he unlocks this padlock and how he takes the chains out. Cannot help but make noise because it is attached, but he does he does his best to try not to like freaking rattle it too much. And as the chain is fully out, whatever cries Doru was making stops very suddenly. very eerily. And Donovic will be the first person to go down. It's like you gotta climb it ladder-wise down. And you see Donovic, he'll like climb a bit of it, and when he gets halfway, he'll just jump down. And he immediately goes to turn on this like oil lit lamp of sorts to give you some light. It is going to be very dim light though. Who's going in first?
Maria.
And then is it Aisha, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Then probably Ellie. Irina tries to come, and Ismark is like, no. No. You're not. You're just not. And she looks perturbed. She looks annoyed, okay? Just like, you fucking... You're lucky this is the house of God. You know, just like she can't curse, but like just the look that she gives him, she's not happy. She will stay up top. Ismark will be the last one because he's been like, no, you're blocked. You can't come in, you know, kind of thing. So he will come in after Ellie. Now what the rest of you see is that the Undercroft has this rough looking walls and a floor made out of damp clay and earth. Rotting wood pillars strain under the weight of the wooden ceiling, and candlelight from honestly, any candles lit still in the temple can also be kind of seen as it slips through the cracks of the ceiling. It does not do any help in terms of providing more light underneath here, except for kind of showing you a glimpse of this gaunt shape in the far corner. You can hear this clatter of chains, perhaps, but you don't see any. And kind of still trying to hide in the shadows. You can tell, you think you know where Doru probably is.
Ellie, dear, music?
Yeah. Oh, yes. And I will start playing my lute. A very soothing tune. Maybe like a lullaby or something calming.
Make a performance roll, please.
I thought you'd never ask. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Dora starts banging
12.
the change, and it sounds like a laundry machine.
12 plus 7, 19.
Nice.
You're playing.
Hard.
Your playing takes a little bit, takes a few notes.
Mm-hmm.
But he stops hissing at you all. Hissing, or maybe that's just the way he has to breathe now. Whatever it is, it stops kind of as suddenly as like when he stopped screaming. So it's very eerily suddenness. And whatever you're doing, I would say you think it is helping.
Maria will sort of coordinate with Donovic. She's going to, I think she'll explain. I'm going to urge him toward me, and if you could unlock the door. Or is there a door where he is?
There is no door. There
great.
is no door. Yeah, there might have been chains. You don't know where it's gone.
He can be in the chains. It's fine. Then Donovic, if you wouldn't mind accompanying me towards him, I will begin a spell meant for these types of instances. And as Maria and Donovic, and I think Maria will put like a hand on Aisha's, like just sort of like wrist or something, as like a accompany me as you like, but like, you know, this is meant to be a peaceful thing. Hopefully nothing wrong happens, but thanks that you're behind. And Maria will begin her soothing words as she stands next to Doru's father. Come on out, handsome. And she like sort of she'll I think she'll say to Aisha specifically, we have a minute.
Understood.
And she, as if Doru does not come closer, she continues to urge along with Donovic towards him. I think she's kneeling at this point as well.
So, you're talking, you're gonna have to make the roll. It will be diplomacy, but with Ellie successfully kind of soothing him, the DC will just be lowered.
Okay.
If there is any other, actually, if Aisha is there to protect you, should, like, you know, if Doru jumps you or something like that. So I'll lower it a little bit more, just at the preparedness of Aisha gonna swing.
Thank God. 19.
Jesus, you didn't need me to lower any of that.
I have a flat roll to diplomacy.
That's a good. That's good. There's hesitancy. You can hear it, as like the chains kind of swing back and forth, as he's like maybe perhaps doing a jerking motion of going to you and then stopping himself. There is a fight. There is a very clear fight internally going on right now. But slowly and surely, he will creep up closer so you can get a better look at him. And this young man is, you can tell, got the height genes from his father. This is a big fucking man. But he has nowhere near the same amount of muscle that the father has. He's not a twink. Okay. Right now he looks a little lanky and gangly though.
Is he a war twink?
I would say a war twink, yeah, a twunk. You know, just he's got some muscle to him. It's just right now this muscle is doing weird things to his body, as his body is doing weird things to him. I would definitely say, in terms of like just vampire spawns that you may have seen before, Aisha, he looks a little bit different. He looks a little bit, there's a bit of a mutation of some sort, as if his body is also trying to turn him into a bat, but he still has so much of his human features that you can tell that's the person, but it's just, you know, just the arms are a little too long. And the muscles seem stretched over, actually. And he looks very in pain, honestly. His legs, the same thing is happening to his legs. It's not pretty. This dude was once a good-looking, fine young man.
How is he bound?
How is he bound?
Yeah, by the chains.
There is one that was perhaps is still around his ankles, and that extends further into the back. There are also like ones on his wrist, but he has ripped them out. There's parts of the wall that are here with him, and he kind of even holds the chain like for comfort at this point, kind of in both hands like that, and that's why you can see it swing every now and then. As he moves, and his eyes also look glossy. They look kind of like what a corpse's eyes sort of looks when he becomes blind. except instead of that blue, you get a weird fainted red. Obviously, this does not look natural on him, like at all. It's giving bloodshot golem for the eyes. Okay, it's not fun. And his ears also look like they're trying to force themselves to some form of point. Body is clearly doing things to him that he does not like, and it doesn't look natural at all. Maria, you kind of look a little bit more natural than him, but that's just because you're kind of built completely like this now.
I'm fully transformed. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fully transformed. This guy is, I want to say, a quarter of the way, and it doesn't look good.
Maria's built different.
Maria built different.
I kneel down to Doru. I say, Aisha, we have a minute. We only have a minute. I'm going to tell Donovic, do you have means to replace or reinforce these chains at later tonight, honestly?
If I need to do so, I can.
Okay. And again, as Maria has not really spoken that much about what she's doing, she kneels and gets closer to Doro. She's going to turn her body so that she's facing Aisha, so that Maria is like very clear about what she's doing to everyone in the room. She's gonna pull her arm out of the linens and like pull up her sleeve basically and hold it up to Doru's mouth and teeth.
Are you feeding him?
Yeah.
Oh shit. 1 second. Well, you're willing. Okay. What is your fortitude DC?
+7. I don't know what the DC is, but it's
It's +7, so it should be like what? It's like 17 right now. All right. You're willing. This was mostly if he can do it. He can totally do it. He's fucking starving. You can see that he wanted to ask. There's like, it's in his eyes. He emotes purely right now by his eyes at this point. Everything else kind of betrays him. And so there is an apologetic look before he just fucking goes ham on your arm. You are going to be drained 1.
That's fine.
And this in particular will that's actually a lot longer than I thought it would be.
It's fine.
You're gonna be drained 1 for a week, unless a blood transfusion can be made. I don't know if it can be made with you based on your body. So more on that later. You'll be drained 1 for a week.
Regardless of any penalties that Maria knows that she might receive, as he finally latches and clamps down, Maria will look towards everyone to finally explain herself. It serves no purpose for, indeed, a wild animal to remain unfed and feral. If this can tide him over, if this can get him in a right mind, if anything, he can speak to his father. He can, if only for a bit at the very least, get his voice, his words, an understanding to be made. I hope you can forgive me for this.
Donovan kind of. There is, like, he makes a noise which sounds disapproving, but if you were to look at him, he is, that is incorrect. He is approving. He, like, as in he is, not necessarily approving like you did the right choice, but he respects your decision, and how and what you chose to sacrifice here. Um, and he will simply wait until you know for you to do something. Honestly, the ball is in very much your court.
Maria, again, however Aisha is keeping time, whatever. We only have a minute for this. Maria, throughout this like very long feeling minute, is just like stroking whatever is left of Doru's hair, and like patting his back, and like she smells nice, and she's like soft because of the linens and even her flesh, even if it is seemingly like mutated and looks diseased, like she's perfectly healthy. There's nothing along those lines. It probably tastes a little beefy or something along those lines. Hopefully that's nice for him. But she's just making this as nice of a experience for him as possible until that minute is up, and she'll look up at Aisha to basically, like, periodically, like throughout seconds, to see when a minute has passed.
Yeah. Aisha is like very obviously like not happy that you're doing this. Like her grip on the hammer is like very tight, but is giving you space. Is like, like 10 feet back. I'll say 45 seconds pass, and then she like steps forward and like puts a hand on Doru's shoulder and is like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah, pretty much. As you do that, he is there enough to agree. He kind of just straight up, like, he has a mouthful, he swallows it, and whatever blood is dripping out, he's clearly trying to, like,
I wipe his mouth.
Like, he's not trying to lick it. He's aware that he looks like he's a mess, so he's like self-conscious about it right now, and he's like, yeah, no more, no. I can't anymore. I can't. I'm gonna hurt you. I don't want to hurt you. Oh God, but I'm still so fucking hungry. But I can't anymore. I can't. Like, he will keep repeating that little part. Sort of like half of it is for y'all to know that this is what he wants. He does not want to eat anymore. The other half is for himself, to kind of reaffirm how much he does not want to feed off of you anymore.
Yeah. Aisha's hand is like not quite squeezing his shoulder, but like is very firm and is like, I am holding you still here. And without looking away from him, just goes, Ellie, could you help bandage that up?
Yeah, of course. And I will carefully
Maria
approach. I'm still
stands back.
playing while I walk up, but I want him to be able to see me with the loot, because I don't know if he could, because I was hanging back.
Mm-hmm.
And I see him, I give him a little nod, and I'll like bring the song to a close.
Mm-hmm. I think your eyes will meet, and that is kind of your acknowledgement, because he's kind of he has to focus on, like, my guy cannot multitask at all anymore. It's he can
like
barely
a frightened
solo.
animal.
Yeah, he's got to focus on reassuring himself of basically everything.
Actually, since my instrument is, I think it's spectral technically, because I summoned it, can I just like leave it float in the air while it's still playing?
I would say so, yeah. For now, yeah.
Okay. I'll do that. I'll just kind of crouch down in front of him, and or in front of Maria, I guess, and like wrap her wound. I can do a medicine check. I'm not great at medicine, but I can try.
I was gonna say it's okay just to wrap it is fine. Yeah. I wouldn't say medicine check unless you're trying to heal her. Which
no.
I forgot to mention. You're gonna take 5 points of damage, by the way, Maria.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
And then throughout time, it'll lessen. I'll keep track. No worries.
Yeah. So like your hit points can be healed like right now and go back up to full. That's fine. It's just you're going to have, I believe it's like a -1 penalty to constitution related things, fortitude related things and stuff. Maybe even strength. I have to double check that. But that will last for straight up a week. So like in game week we can figure it out. But yeah. It's when you kind of see Donovic, he wants to go to his son. He very clearly wants to like, stop him from hurting. But the soldier in him can't give that up yet. Because it's still not safe. I have a question for y'all. You wanted to ask Doru some questions. You wanted Doru to talk. Is there anything else in specific you'd like to do right now, or would you like more information first?
How are y'all feeling?
I think I want to, I want to understand what he wants. Like, does he want to wait and see if we can help him? Does he want to live? Does he want to not live? Like, what does he want? I want to ask him that while he's lucid enough to answer, possibly.
Yeah, you can ask him that.
So I imagine being in this basement isn't very pleasant for you, although I understand why and how. But what do you want?
He says rather frantically, I want to live. I don't want to die. I don't want to be this. I can't live like this. But I want to live. And he kind of just says, I want to live over and over and over again until his voice kind of like gives out.
Hey, there's ways. But you'll have to wait a bit. Is that okay? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be nice. But it's not impossible for you to go back.
So there's a way.
There's a couple of ways, actually.
I can wait. I can wait. I can wait. And he just says, I can wait.
Okay. Do you want to... I'm trying to be, like, very soothing and gentle with him.
Yeah. Which is, I'm taking it into consideration.
Do you want to know what the options are so you can think about them? Or do you want to wait till later when we can actually do some of them?
He kind of opens his mouth to try and say things, but then he has to like stop himself and think. It's very much, his mind is very scattered, and so he has to put them back into coherent sentences. Something that you would you and Aisha for sure would understand is that vampire spawns are bound to their masters, and if their master were to show up and tell them to do things, they have almost no way to fight that. And right now,
is he listening?
He might be listening. He might be fighting it. He also might be directionless, and that it could also be causing all this unrest. There's a lot of things that could be that could be going on right now for poor Doru over here, and it's honestly beyond your understanding right now, just because of how fucked up it kind of is.
I'm also
but
a
you
baby
see him,
part.
yeah, but you see him trying. You see him trying. The blood helped, but it can only help.
So he's
Excuse
just
me for so
struggling.
much. He's struggling, yeah.
Maybe we wait until later.
Okay.
We'll be back.
And you gotta close the door. That much he says. He is I think
We'll make sure.
without basically me having to repeat everything,
Mhm.
he's aware enough that he needs to be here.
Okay.
Hmm.
I am gonna Ellie's gonna be brave. She's gonna very slowly and carefully just very pat his shoulder. It's gonna be okay. I know that's hard to think about right now, but it's gonna be okay.
He kind of shudders a little bit. He shudders at the first pat. If you pat more than once, he leans into it. My guy is very cold to the touch. He's kind of gamey when you feel him too.
Cold
but-
doesn't bother me because of the kind of kitsune I am.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming you are all going to leave the trap, the undercroft right now. Ismark will go up first to help the rest of you up. Donovic is the last to go up. And Doru does not attack at all, actually. That blood was very helpful in keeping himself under control for now. You know it's not gonna last. If it lasts more than 24 hours, that's honestly a miracle. But it's very unfortunate. When you're back up, the chains go back on, the padlock goes back on. It's very thorough. And you can all kind of breathe again. Down was cold, but it feels refreshing to be up here in the mold for some reason.
I think Ellie kind of liked the cold, actually.
Oh, okay. It could be the opposite for you then.
But it is nice to not be in a tense situation.
Arnovich kind of says, thank you for what you've done. It was good to see some semblance of my boy again. But I can't leave him here. It's not safe.
What do you mean?
I get the feeling that you will all be leaving. I don't know what your intentions will be going along the way. I would like to help, but I can't leave this village knowing that my son has the strength, and he is strong, to drain this village dry if he were to get loose.
I understand you're needed here.
I do also understand. He turns to Irina this time and Ismark goes, I do understand that you need to leave here, which there is an abbot in 1 second. What the fuck is it? There's an abbot in around near Vallaki. He is he might be able to help you more than this temple can.
We'll be
I
setting out
would
at
travel
dawn.
with you as well, but I'm afraid I can handle the village. can't handle it with my son the way he currently is.
Sure. We'll get Ismark to Vallaki safely, and Irina.
I thank you all then. And I'm not sure of much help that I can be, but if you need anything from here, it is yours.
I give Maria like a little look, and just say, "You wouldn't happen to have some spare robes, raiments?"
I do. I also have I have some just general. You know what? No, it probably will actually fit you. I do have things that could help you feel better suited than I believe those are linens.
Bed linens. They're very heavy. Yes.
Yes. It seems so. Would you like them?
If you would have something to spare, certainly.
Yes, of course. And I'm more than happy to. He will go. Unless you need him for anything else, he will usher y'all to leave this one room because safety reasons. He closes that door. He goes to his room, grabs he goes through what could fit you better. All of these are like white and blue in color, because they are meant to be, like temple robes, and they are all under the colors of Sarenrae. And also he kind of like holds them to you and gives them to you, and he's very, very aware of their colors, and he's just like, this, I apologize. It's not the friendliest for a forest.
Maria is happy. Like she loves white. And she will just it's of no issue to me if clothes get dirty. They're meant to.
Yes. You may use this room or my son's room to change if you need to. I can't imagine these being these linens being all too comfortable. Perhaps warm, but maybe too warm.
And Maria will change, and of course Christopher is still in her apron, so Christopher just watches her change, and it's not a big deal. Whatever.
It's fine. Just whoop whoop, easy change.
Yeah, originally, so I had already been planning this. When you were like, "This man is like 6'5", I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, he's big.
He's
big
just
man.
the right size.
Yep.
Yeah, he's 6'5" and also extremely wide. If anything, they like just ripped the head hole a little bit more, so that way you can fit completely. And it's just, yeah, but like it's a good fit. I don't know if Maria is like jacked in the arms, but like if you are comfortable, if
think-
you're not, so much space.
I have like dehydrated like muscle, because I think my arms, like I'm sharing the muscles and bones of a cow. So I think it's like a weird mix of a lot of things happening. So who knows?
Yeah, it's I will say it's much more comfortable than what you were before. It's nice. Also, I don't know. Maybe you feel a little bit better actually having clothes.
Ellie's watching all this, like ripping it to make the head hole bigger and just wonders aloud, I wonder if I could get a sewing kit.
Yeah. I mean, if Marie doesn't care at this point. Like, if Aisha and Ellie want to help her, like, dress, that's also fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll let Ellie help you, and then while you're doing this, I do like go off with Father Donovic.
Mhm.
I think I want to wait until it's just the two of us. Like, I want even like Ismark and Irina to be elsewhere.
Okay, then before that I want to ask, because unless you want to do anything else, I'm assuming you're going to be heading back to the tavern. Ismark does have a room there, and so Irina can also travel with y'all to the tavern. It's more so, would you all like to go to the tavern?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she needs to stay in the temple tonight, so it's safe, right?
She can if y'all make her is the best way to put it.
If she can
She's
go to
been
the
staying-
tavern, like, I don't
Yeah,
think she's
she's
been
been
eating, like, meals here.
Yeah, she's been kind of interchanging where she's been staying, but she spends, I want to say, majority of the day at the temple. So whether she spends the night, I mean, now I'm not so sure if she's going to actually spend the night now that she knows what's downstairs, kind of immediately making this place no longer safe. No, she might actually just straight up come with y'all. Now that I think about it, because she knows what's there. She wasn't in there to see it, but I think y'all have not been hush hush about Doru.
I think when the rest of us leave, so Aisha can take care of whatever she needs to take care of, I'm at least just babbling to Maria, like, I'm gonna find a sewing kit, and then I'm gonna make you clothes, and I have so many ideas, and I need to make myself some new clothes, so maybe I'll also make some for Aisha, and maybe Chris, and I kind of like look at Chris, maybe not. I don't think Chris needs clothes, but you do. So what do you think?
That sounds incredible. I'll trade you for perfume, if that seems fair.
Huh? I think that seems fair, but we don't need a trade. I just want to do this for you. I think it would be nice.
Maria, with now, I think her hands are still kind of scary, but like they are clean and without blood and like dirt and things, so she feels more comfortable just like petting you with like the back of her like knuckles. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice. You're welcome.
This is happening. You guys are outside. I would assume that Aisha is lingering with Donovic still in the
I think
temple.
as everybody else is leaving, I'm like, I'll catch up with you in just a moment.
They are considerable space away. You are now with Donovic.
And I think once it's just the two of us, I'll go, alright, I'll get right to it. You're a Chilaxian. How about a deal with the devil?
I haven't made... Well, I've never made deals with any devils. But I did used to worship Abadar. So maybe I was in some ways. What do you have in mind, young warrior?
I mean, I'm not a full devil. I can't offer you a lot, but I think putting a stronger lock on that door should be manageable if you write up the contract.
He looks at you and he's studying you. And now, what specifically are you trying to do? Because this will determine the role that I make you make.
I am basically just trying to tap into my infernal ancestry to just make the like make the locks on the basement more secure. This is not technically an ability that I have. This is but
Yeah, no, I see what you're trying to do here. I'm trying to think of like the coolest thing I think would in fact actually be a literal devil's bargain. I'll let you do something. I'll let you do a little bit more than something if you want anything extra out of it. And then I'll think of something that you might have to, you know, swap in return. Because I think this is really fucking cool. And it feels like a legitimate devil's bargain, you being the devil in this scenario.
I am offering a literal infernal contract. I am gonna let Father Donovan like write it up and dictate the terms, and like I think the way I imagine it working is like the more he offers up, then the more I can sort of like tap into my infernal heritage and maybe put a little bit more power on it. But that's I'm leaving it up to your judgment.
Are you willing to follow said contract?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. All right, that should be the deal then. All right. He will consider it. You see him thinking about it. He goes, "Should I accept this deal? What is it that you want from me exactly? Did you need another Do you need another soldier for this war?"
I think eventually I will. You said your son took a band of mercenaries to take on Strahd, and none of them came back.
None.
I have, with love and respect, a bard and a puppet.
I see. Killing Strahd? I would be more than happy to. I will agree to these terms as long as we can assure the safety of the rest of this village. Without me here, and now without the burgomaster, this is an open field. But if I know Strahd, and I don't know her, but I have had my encounters with her. She will follow what she's interested in. And unfortunately, that is Lady Irina. And perhaps the rest of your band. You are safer in numbers, but
Then those will be the terms. You will defend this place until such a time as we are prepared for our confrontation, and then you'll come to our aid.
yes, I agree to these terms. I think he will actually go and he will like draw out said contract. The terms I will say for like your sake and mechanic's sake, it will fall under the same ways to break the vampire spawn thing. So killing Strahd, done. If not, we killing Doru and then rezzing him back. That's another way to fix it. And then the many greater restorations. Those are ways to fulfill that part of the deal. So, as just a heads up, just in case. To be clear, do you want Donovan to come with y'all and like travel with y'all to the party? Or are you okay with him staying here and then being summoned?
I am asking him to stay here until we call on him in the future.
Until you call him in the future. All right. That's good to know as well. Donovic also straight up puts in said contract that you have that that you will always have sanctuary at the temple. But he also straight up puts like, if the temple is ever compromised, he has to let you know. And this is like a cause in itself for him. If he becomes compromised in such a way that his son is, he is now forcing himself to be compelled to tell you that. So this man knows how to deal with these contracts is the best way to put it. And you will get a rather satisfying deal. He's not asking much from you. He is asking a lot but in terms of, saving his son, but in return you get him.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And like what I want to do for my part is basically make it so that I'll give something up myself if I have to. But I basically want to make it so that Doru can't leave the basement until either he's been cured or Father Donovan chooses to let him out, basically, so that he can't break out.
Yeah, you can't break it. I think if anything, a part of you needs to stay. And by that I mean like a quill, drop of blood, something like that needs to stay, whether it's on the contract or on the premises. And it's just like that's just how the infernal mumbo jumbo kind of works. That's how you know that like the contract is sealed and that this magic is here. It may not be the most welcomed. This is Sarenrae's place, but whatever you've done to the lock will work.
I will take the quill and jab it into my wrist, and I will sign the contract in blood.
That's perfect. And Donovic will also sign it as well. He kind of will follow your cue as well. He is honestly a very proper man in terms of like when he's doing these deals. He does not. You guys have more than proved that he will gain nothing if he wished to bamboozle you in some way. He does not want to do that. But for all matters, intents and purposes, this contract is done. Your magic has worked. Something inside you stirs a little bit, like, ooh, it kind of feels good to have kind of tapped into this little part of your lineage. And you can rejoin the group when you're ready, knowing that you do have Donovic. But also you have now the task of curing Doru. That can obviously be approached at later times.
Yeah. So I just catch up with everybody, hunky-dory, all's good, nothing eventful happened. And we have an early morning ahead of us. We got to leave at dawn, so I'm going to go settle in for the night.
Yeah. Your rooms, I believe, as assigned were Maria and Christopher.
Yeah.
And Ellie and Aisha. And then there is Ismark and Irina. I have a question. Do you all want to still stay like that, or would you prefer to do one giant cuddle pile or something like that?
I don't think this party's at the cuddle pile level yet.
Yeah, no,
Not
I
quite
think
yet.
Maria and
yet.
Christopher are just still sharing. Like, we just share a one room, one bed, and like that's fine. Like, Maria needs to be just like one bed, one person. So.
Night will fall. If you wish to see the March of the Dead,
Yeah.
you can see it out your windows. You can see it out the tavern doors. Even the three sisters are also watching because you guys are watching. They've seen this many times. The march kind of goes about like this. An eerie green light fuses into the graveyard. From this light emerges a ghostly procession, wavering images of stoutly women trotting with great swords, wood-wise men with slender bows, dwarves with glittering axes, um, and archaically dressed mages with beards and strange pointed hats. All of this and more march forth from the graveyard, their numbers growing by the second. There are many, many people. If you care to focus, I don't think it will take too. I don't think it will require a roll for you to see people like the Burgomaster, which would just straight up be pointed out to you when Irina and Ismark see it. And they kind of. There's like a wave of like emotion seeing their dad again. He's there, but he's not there, is what it looks like, you know?
Does it seem like it's only the undead that have been buried that are part of the march?
Yes and no. You for sure see, like, Burgomaster, you recognize him. I think it wouldn't take too long for you to recognize who you think might be Maru. You've seen Doru. Doru looks quite a bit like his mother, Maru, who is like dressed in. You've seen the clerical robes. You're wearing them actually, so you see matching robes. You see the the holy symbol worn. You see her all carrying one hell of an axe, kind of like on her back, like she was ready. She was small also, by the way. What the fuck. She's a tiny little thing, walking around with an axe about the size of her.
I was small before too.
Stop. Oh my god. Wait. That hurt me. That hurts my throat. The noise that I made. You see her walk. So you know the buried for sure are walking. But then some of the armor looks super old on some of these warriors. The pointed wizard hats are probably the most telling. Because, like, do wizards and stuff wear hats? Yes, some do. This one looks like it's just, it looks really vintage is the best way to put it.
Like a
And
gnome
so,
hat? Like the dunce cap?
like
shaped hat?
partial, like some of them for sure, yeah, and then others are like, you looking at the robes and it's giving you like pilgrimage realness,
Oh my
like
god.
it's yeah, and then there's fabrics you've never seen before, like styles you have not encountered at all. It gets older and older and older. It's all mixed together and it's weird. And Barovia's old. You're just not sure how old.
Do we know if it's unsafe to go outside during this?
It's not unsafe. It's just most people don't. The only thing they tell, like the sisters will straight up tell you, just don't follow them.
Huge.
Is Cardi interested in getting closer?
Cardi's so interested. Cardi will actually fly from you to like fly around them, but he can't go past a certain feet of you.
Oh.
Yeah, Cardi
I'll
is
go outside
bound.
with him.
You can go outside and Cardi will fly around some more and stuff. But
If I walk like through them or among them, do they just walk through me?
yeah,
I'm gonna
They
stand
don't
in
really-
the street and watch
yeah,
them
they
walk
don't-
by.
yeah. They don't really acknowledge you. None of them acknowledge really anything. They just have this purpose to walk.
Yeah, I want to give Cardi a chance to like analyze these strange spirits.
Mm-hmm. Cardi be analyzing. Mm-hmm. The march happens. You all go to bed. And before we end it, Maria,
No.
Maria, you hear knocking on your door. Just you.
I look to see if Christopher hears anything.
Christopher's asleep. You're pretty sure Christopher's asleep.
Useless
Christopher is a
bitch.
puppet.
Yeah, that's fine. She just like stirs, uncovered anything in whatever semblance of nightwear she has, and just sort of like lights a candle and brings it to the door. Opens it.
Your head is always forced down. So it takes you time to look up. And it's not that you need to look up any higher. It's just that you need to move your head a certain way to look, period, because you have a cow head. So your eyes are kind of on the side of your face rather than dead center. So it takes you a moment before your body understands who is there. She has very pale, rough, but smooth at the same time her skin is. She looks at you and goes, "That's a good pet. Open the door, Maria." We're gonna end there.
What?
Because what a perfect time to end it. Yeah.
You're a
First night.
sadist.
All right. Why don't you bitches say who you are, where, do yourself some, yeah, you bitches, do yourself some outros, because I'm not gonna do myself an outro today. My throat hurts. You already know where to find me.
That's all good.
The throat goat.
Oh my god. I am Josephine. I am at Scary Dog Friend. I am a co-producer and admin at Bad House RPG as well as at Nameless Domain. Thank you so much for watching Maria, the the Beast Warp. Jesus Christ. Beastkin Flesh Warp Cleric. I need to eat some food. I'll pass it over to Mimi? Mandy?
Sure.
Yeah.
I am Mimi, also known as Michelle Jones. You can find me most places as Alesha Kills. That is ALESHAKILLS. You know the deal. Google me. Daylight savings is a bitch. I'm so
Jesus
tired.
Christ.
Yep, that part. Same.
Mandy, go for it.
Hi everybody, I'm Mandy or TheMandii. That's Mandy with 2 eyes all over the internet. And I have been Ellie, the adorably optimistic Kitsune Bard.
Amazing. We are
Awesome.
Yay,
out.
good session.